Hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody. How are you feeling this week? How is your heart? How is your energy? How are you doing? There is a lot going on this month, so I'm going to share a little bit about the pieces I know about what's happening. There's so much more, especially when you get into the astrology of it all, but I am not an astrology expert. So I'll talk about what I know about, which is the earth energies, and we'll just give people a moment to hop on and get their notifications here. So if you are joining me live, say hello in the comments so I know you're here. If you are watching this on the replay, just say hello and replay in the comments. And yeah, I'm excited that you're here joining me this week. Let me just say, this group, I just started it, I think, in March, and we just passed 1,000 members yesterday, which is like amazing to me. So thank you all for being here. I'm so grateful to have this community and to have you all here joining me, and just love all of your contributions. I love seeing all of your photos and your experiences with nature all over the world. So keep sharing because I love seeing them. So, okay. Once again, if you're here live, just say hello in the comments, and yeah, let's get started. So, what the heck is going on this week? You've probably heard what's coming up this weekend. And this weekend, we have a whole series of events happening in a very, very short period of time. So I wrote down the timing because I can't ever remember all of these things off the top of my head. So on Saturday, we have the solstice, and that peaks at 3:43 p.m. here in Mountain Time. So you have to figure out where that is, or what time it is for wherever you are. But if you are in the Northern Hemisphere, this is the summer solstice. If you are in the Southern Hemisphere, this is winter solstice. So you either are going to have the most amount of daylight or the least amount of daylight for the year. So always a big, kind of the shifting of the seasons, shifting of the energies around solstice is always the case. But then coming on its tail, a number of hours later, technically here in Mountain Time, it is happening on Sunday morning, well, middle of the night. So there is a solar eclipse at 12:40 a.m., so just after midnight, and a new moon happening at the exact same time, 12:40 a.m. Again, a little unusual that all of these timings are lining up. And so in, really a less than 12-hour window, whatever, 9-10 hour window, we're going to have all of these energies kind of pouring in all at the same time. And with eclipses, it's almost like lights out, for a moment or a few moments. And eclipses are known for eclipsing things from our lives, removing things we no longer need, giving us the opportunity to let go of things that we no longer need, or sometimes just removing them altogether. So again, all of this happening Saturday and Sunday, depending on exactly where in the world you are. However, we are already in the gateway. We're already leading up. There's a lot of energy already happening. Also, for the whole month of June, we already had an eclipse that lined up with the full moon 2 weeks ago, or I should say, probably about 10 days ago. And that was a lot of activating energy that came in. And I mean, I don't know what's going to happen this weekend, but it feels to me like it's like 2.0 of what happened on the full moon. So even more energy coming in. But in this period of time leading up this week, there's a few other things that are going on. So if you are familiar with the Schumann Resonance at all, that is the vibration of the earth. It is the kind of natural, very healing vibration of the earth. It actually aligns with I hope I'm going to get it right. I think it's the alpha brainwaves, which is the same vibration as meditation or healing. And so it's usually at a fairly steady, fairly repetitive vibration. But what's been happening a lot over the past year is spikes where it goes way off the charts. The energy is very amplified. And what's happening when that happens is that the energy, because our bodies are aligned naturally with the Schumann resonance, that is our natural alignment, is really with the earth. The earth and our human bodies are naturally aligned. So when that spike happens or waves happen, which has been happening a lot this week, where it's like every few hours there's a spike, our bodies cannot help but be activated by that energy. We naturally pick it up. So the Schumann resonance spikes and we are shaken up. And what's happening is the earth is helping us to raise to the next level of vibration, right? Lift our vibration. Sometimes we say, oh, how can we lift our vibration, or how can we, shift our frequency? Well, the earth is helping us to do this naturally. So the Schumann resonance spikes, it shakes things up in our bodies, and we are pushed to release anything, the lower density, lower vibration things in our bodies that we no longer need at this next level, right? So you got to get a little lighter energetically to hop up to the next level. And to do that, you got to let go of some old stuff. So throughout this week, and this has been going on quite a bit. This is part of the ascension process. The earth is ascending too and is helping us to ascend. So it didn't just happen this week, but it is very active this week. And so that's what's happening. We're getting triggered. We're getting pushed to release, 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 release. So if you are feeling especially triggered, especially exhausted, especially emotional, you feel like there's old stuff coming up, it's there, it's coming to the surface so that it can be released. So, look at those places where those things might be coming up, where that's what's being triggered within you. And keep in mind that it's not just you, it is every single person, whether you know it's happening or not, or you're conscious of it or not. We are all being given this opportunity at the same time. But when you magnify this triggering feeling, or this, kind of vibration or agitation to let these things go, and it plays out on a global scale, you see it. There's a lot of energy, dismantling, releasing energy that is happening right now, which is very exciting in that way, in that, okay, we can release this, we can move on. So Schumann resonance is the earth. The earth is triggering you, let go, let go, let go. At the same time, as you're letting go, you are making room in your light body, in your energy body, for new things, new information, new codes, new blueprints, things that whatever we need for the new earth, for whatever's coming next, for this transition we're going through. So that's coming from off the earth. That's coming from the sun. So the sun is sending us, the sun is sentient and participating in this ascension, just like the earth is, just like we are. We're all doing this. All the planets are ascending. Everything is having its vibration raised. So the sun is sending in new codes, new information, and you'll see that the sun was very quiet for an extended period of time, the beginning of the year, and just I think right around Memorial Day, the solar flares started happening again, coming back. So that's the sun activating and sending in new information. So sun is sending in new information as you release the old. And all you really have to do, again, it's coming in whether you're conscious of it or not, but if you really want to participate in the process more actively and be involved, you can go out and be in the sun. Even if the sun isn't shining, it's still there, and connect with it, connect through your heart, and really intend to receive those codes into your body for your highest and best good, for your ascension process. So that's something, a simple process you can do on a regular basis, just to continue downloading those codes. So we've got the old being washed away by the earth. We've got the sun sending us the new. On top of all of that, what's been happening all through 2020 is a lot of timeline work. And I'm not going to get really deep into that because there's a lot of moving pieces to timelines. But there's a whole module about timelines in the Earth Tenders Academy if you want to learn more about this. But what happened in January, that big conjunction we had on January 12th, was a big new primary timeline got anchored in on the Earth. We all kind of like collectively moved to this, which is why things feel so different since January. And because now we've got to get with this program of this new timeline. And there are many, many things that do not align with the new timeline. So those old timelines have to go away. And it's happening naturally. Things are going away. But you may be having really unusual experiences or things you can't quite explain as a result of this, because in many cases, what's being released in timelines are old timelines, especially from your past. And this happened first on like a really big scale, and then it kind of stepped down into a smaller scale. And what I'm noticing right now is it feels like there's a lot of personal timeline work going on. So things from your past that you just don't need anymore. And what's really weird is there's nothing you really need to do. You don't need to get super involved in healing and analyzing and thinking about it. What is weird though is that you will realize that it's not there. It just feels different. Your memory of it might, your memory of an event might be gone altogether, or might feel different. You might not feel the energetic pull to it, or it just might not feel important anymore. So that being said, a lot of us are connected, or have things in our personal identity that we feel very connected to as things that happened to us in the past. And so as you notice those things leaving, you're going to have to consciously let them go, because if you're trying to hold on to them, it's really holding you in that older timeline. And all of these energies are conspiring to move us to this higher timeline, to this new Earth timeline. So don't feel too worried or freaked out if all of a sudden, like, gosh, I just can't remember that anymore. I had a weird experience last week where I was reminded during the day of a dream and started telling my husband about the dream, and then got confused in the middle of telling him. I was like, wait a minute, this wasn't a dream. This really happened. And then I had to think for a minute again and be like, wait, that doesn't make sense. That didn't happen. It was a dream. Like, the dream reality is getting very mixed up, very confused. You may find in your dreams that you are working out and releasing some things, or having memories of things where you're like, that didn't quite happen in my life, but it feels like it did. I just had the experience in the dream time. So all of those things, this is all related to these timelines. They're clearing up, they're merging, they're realigning, and it's all kind of happening behind the scenes. So just look for that to happen, or notice, that if you just don't have the energy around something in the past anymore, or a person or a thing or a place, like, okay, just, I see that and I let it go. So that's all of these moving pieces that are all happening leading up. Of course, Mercury goes into retrograde tomorrow, which gives us always the opportunity, any word that starts with re, we get to review, renew, recommit, all kinds of things like that. So it's just an opportunity to go back over something and double check it or review it. So again, people from the past might show up. You just will have opportunities to work on that. Mercury in retrograde is different for every person, depending on kind of like where it is in your chart and how it might affect you. But it's just like another little fun bit of energy thrown into the mix with everything else. So knowing all of that, let me just share a few things you can do if you are feeling the energy is really strong. It could go either way. You could feel, more exhausted and, you know, emotional, and or you could be having physical effects like headaches and things, as kind of like your crown chakra, third eye is opening more. Rest always, if you can do it, as much rest as you feel like you need, is always helpful. Water, drink as much water as you feel like you need, or drink more if you're feeling off kilter, because water helps move this energy and this information through our body. So it'll help clear out the old, help move the new into your body. And then, of course, nature. You can never get outside too much. So if you're feeling, a lot of this energy, get out, get your feet on the ground, get your whole body on the ground. If you're really feeling out of sorts, ground your energy. It could feel tempting to just float off into space, but we are here on Earth to have this Earth experience, and the Earth will help us. And so, so if you're having a hard time with any of the energies, always get outside if you can. Just even into your backyard. Even concrete conducts the Earth's energy. So even if all you have is a little concrete patio, you can get out there and get your feet on the concrete. So those are all good things. You may also feel very, very blissful. This might be a really amazing experience. That was certainly the experience I had on the 5th. And so be open to this being an awesome experience. But know that whatever it is, whatever experience you have is exactly what you need, because your higher self is managing the entire process and knows exactly what you need at a given time. So you don't need to compare your experience to anybody else, or this happened to me or this didn't happen to me. It's all coming through in the perfect amount of time. So and I will share actually just one story, because I know I've been sharing in my emails a little bit, but this month I've been really kind of leading this Earth Speaks group. There's a group of us that are all working with different sacred spaces this month. And so the place that I have been working with has a lot of Bigfoot energy. And I had when your mind just I'm like the mind-blowing emoji was me on Friday all day, and it's taken me a little bit of time to kind of integrate it all and figure it all out, and it's still coming through. But when I went to go visit on Friday, I really felt a lot of that Bigfoot energy, which the previous week I hadn't felt. I kind of felt like they were off in the trees in the background, but not really wanting to interact. And so when I got there this week, lots and lots of energy. I could feel it right away when I got there. And so when I really sat down and after I was able to meditate for a while and kind of wander around, experience the place, I sat down with my notebook to start channeling, and it was like this whole download came through all at once, that this Bigfoot guide that I have had with me for 4 years now, which is a very feminine Bigfoot guide, but she always just kind of shows up and if I'm out somewhere in nature, she'll show up and sit next to me. And this is energetic. She's not, I guess she is physically there, but I don't see her physically. I just see her energy there. And so what came through was that she is yet again another version of myself. And so it's, we have our higher self, and then it's fractals of all these different versions of ourselves that are all doing things all at the same time. And so she is another version of myself. And that's why when she comes and just sits with me, she doesn't have a lot to say, because the information is already within me. We, are sharing this information back and forth. And so there is another Bigfoot at this place in particular, a very masculine energy that I realized through this whole situation is actually like these two Bigfoots are married. I don't know if you get married in Bigfoot land, but they are together. And so, and this is their home. And so by virtue of all of that, like also it's me, you know, it's my home, which is part of why I feel so comfortable there. It's another piece of me. And so the Bigfoot, the masculine energy Bigfoot has really been like kind of hanging around the last few days. I've like kind of been aware of him like as I'm falling asleep and as I'm waking up, and it feels like this information like wants to come through. And I kept thinking like he wants to channel something through me. Like I need to sit down. He wants to channel. And then I did that yesterday and that didn't quite seem to work out or quite be what he was looking for. And really, as the day went on, it really has occurred to me like, what he'd rather do is just like kind of merge energy so that we have the ability to like easily share information back and forth. And I just thought this was an interesting piece of kind of all of these different things that are going on, because part of what's happening as the old timelines are going away and the new information is coming in and the earth is supporting us and all, you know, all of this stuff is happening, is that we're just becoming so much more aware of our multi-dimensional selves. And this has been happening to me a lot this year in meditation, where I'm tripping over other versions of myself. Like we're crossing work over each other more and more often. And so this Bigfoot experience was just another example of how we're all working together. We're all doing it at the same time. And there are opportunities and elements to share, you know, information back and forth to each other. And so as you continue to do this work, as this time goes by, especially, you know, June just has felt like such a powerful, potent month for transformation. And I think these are all of the glimpses of kind of where we're going to, what's coming next, what else is going to happen. So that's what I've got for you today. And I hope you're all hanging in there and you're doing well. And yeah, comment and let me know what you're feeling, how you're experiencing all of the energies this week. And if you have the opportunity at all to plan to be out on the land in some way, somehow, on Saturday, as all of these energies are actually shifting, you may have a really beautiful, amazing experience. Even more so if you're able to be outside. So I will talk to you soon. I'll keep you updated on what's happening in my world, and have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.